Sqwuqwqwis, in the water. The ocean covers over 70% of the Earth's surface, and yet it is the least explored part of the planet. This expansive blue mass of hydrogen, oxygen, and sodium chloride holds more than 100 million species of fish, plankton, mammals, plants, and many more. And still, every day, we discover more. Still, every day, we hurt it more. And yet, it continues on. Many areas of the world are suffering from overfishing, bleached coral, and plastics littering their beach. The Gulf Islands, off the coast of British Columbia, Canada, features an astounding variety of creatures and plants below the surface, and an ever-growing number of humans and ships above it. So, what does the ocean do for you?
My name's Leah, and I'm a biologist with the Galliano Conservancy Association, and that's actually what brought me to Galliano a year ago. In general, Galliano is pretty lucky because, even though the Salish Sea has been settled by people, Europeans and First Nations for a super long time, there are certain things in place that have somewhat minimized the impact to the Gulf Islands. The Islands Trust does quite a good job actually at limiting certain things. So Galliano is not Victoria and it's not Vancouver. It has fewer people. It's a rural area. And so inherently there's just a lower direct impact. There's still lots of indirect impact.
And you can't get away from saying outright that Montague Harbour is the result of human interaction with nature. And you can't really separate the two, because just like the life of the ocean is intimately related, so also the pre-existing culture that created this environment has to be considered.
Well, we show people how to paddle, how to enjoy the ocean, what to see. So we're on the ocean all the time and trying to show its value, both as a place to recreate and also as a place to just value and enjoy because of its wildlife and its natural beauty.
The fact that people are using the ocean for pleasure, craft, and for canoeing and things like that means that there are people who are interested and will look after the ocean. There's enough people that are interested that I think there's enough political pressure to keep the oceans in a reasonable state. If that went away, then commercial fishing interests would just take over.
For many, the ocean is a food source, an economy, a way of life. But for each person, it is something different. But for the 1,000 people of Galliano Island, it is home.
On Galliano Island, we're gonna build clam gardens, and you know what clam gardens are? So we're gonna build them at Penellicut. Clam gardens are a way to make it easy for kids to be helpful when harvesting shellfish. So what you do is you make a barrier of rocks, and then eventually the debris and the sand makes it a level place. So when the tide goes out, you can send a kid out there with a digging stick, and the clams are easy to find.
You walk down the beach and you see otters and you see sea stars right away and sea cucumbers, and eagles fly over while you're walking, and you don't have to try as an educator to describe those creatures. They get to see them firsthand. So we still are quite fortunate. We have a large number of wildlife creatures right in front of us, which is pretty wonderful.
The ocean has a precious balance that must be maintained. When we exploit one species, it affects the entire food chain. This is a juggling act that requires everyone to participate in conservation.
Never turn your back on the ocean. And that, I mean, very literally, because growing up on the west coast of Vancouver Island, you know, you actually can have serious waves that come, and it's not something to take lightly. But also you can think of it a little bit more figuratively in that, you know, the ocean provides life, really, when it comes down to it. Plankton create oxygen for us, and, you know, we get our food from there, we get all kinds of things from the ocean. So never turn your back on the ocean.
Provides pretty much everything. Yeah, when the tide is out, the table is set.
Galiano Island is a magnet for people who choose to live in harmony with the ocean. From sustainable harvesting and fishing to responsible recreation, the survival of a biodiverse ocean needs more people like these.